Here we are again with another Halloween thrift finds video. This is going to be a mix-up of some of the stuff that I left out of other videos and some of the stuff that I found more recently. Well, let's get to it. Here's some more Paper Magic Group hanging ghouls, whatever you want to call these. Showed some of these in a previous video. I have 3 of these now. The Pumpkin Man. I found another Reaper. I think this is the second one that I have of this guy now. And I found 2 that I did not previously have. So I got the Witch. Pretty good detail on these. That's one thing I'll say about Paper Magic Group products, generally speaking. The finish on them is pretty good quality, and it's durable material. They last a long time. That's why you still see these everywhere. They're still pretty common out there just because I think they're so well made. Take a look up the Witch's skirt here. See if we could find a date on it. Ew. Looks like a spider was living in there. I guess that's fitting. ...2003 Paper Magic Group. So, yeah, they all seem to be early 2000s. But we got the Witch. And this ghost ghoul thing. This is the only one that I've ever seen with the white cloth. Looks like it's starting to come undone. Yeah, I'll have to reattach that properly. But yeah, that's ugly. That's ugly as hell, isn't it? I have to hang all of these up on the porch yet. That's all those. We'll go on to lights now. More Sylvania Halloween series orange mini lights. More of the coated bulbs, not the transparent ones. I think the coated bulbs just glow a little bit better, so yeah, this was a pretty good find. Try to pick these up whenever I see them. Here's some little, possibly vintage mini blow mold string lights. They have a nice dark orange color to them, so they should glow pretty good, not be too bright. You don't want your Halloween orange string lights being too bright. I don't. These are probably from the 80s, maybe the early 90s. Not really sure. Pretty good find though. And here is the box for these lights. These are in use right now outside. They're Toontown. Never heard of that before. Toontown. Halloween globe lights, purple, green, and orange. They're decent. Strand's not very long, but you know, they're decent for what it is. It looks like they were on sale a few times wherever these are sold. So yeah. What else we got? We got well, I think this is intended to be a candle holder. You put your candlestick in there, and then I guess the wax would melt down over the skull. But this to me looks like a pretty good paperweight. It's got some weight to it. Looks cool. This is going to work with me on Monday, and yeah, it'll probably stay there year round. Pretty cool. Also found a pumpkin hollow. Guessing this is from Menards. I wondered if there was a sticker on it that even said Menards on it, but that might have been another pumpkin hollow thing that I saw at Goodwill. Yeah, I don't see the Menards sticker. It's a flame light cauldron, so it's got like a little fan in the cauldron that blows this orange fabric around, and then there's a little LED light in there. I haven't set it up yet though. All the stuff looks like it's in there. It's just I haven't taken the time to put it together yet. But that's basically everything that's in there. So maybe one of these days, if I got time, I don't know. Here is I don't know where this came from as far as like what store or whatever, but there was probably cookies or candy or popcorn in here. I just really like the colors, and the illustrations on here are very old school, very vintage looking, inspired from what you would have seen from like the 1920s or 30s Halloween paper decorations. I thought that it could have been something from that time period when I saw it. Really cool pumpkin face on the lid there. And then I saw, it says tin made in Taiwan. So then I had to reevaluate. Then it was time to start thinking about 1980s rather than 50 years prior. Because this would have been made in USA if it was that old. And I've had people tell me that this is from the 80s, and I had somebody tell me that they bought one of these from Kmart in the early 90s. So still pretty cool. I like the spooky tree on the side with the owl. Haunted house. The moon. Pretty neat. We've got some little trinkets here. I thought this was interesting. It's kind of a little cutesy thing that I probably normally wouldn't get, but it just had a real vintage look to it. Doesn't look like anything modern. And then I flipped the lid on it. And there's a little ghost. And it looks weird and creepy. And I think this is from 1980s, late 70s. It's a Fun World Halloween toy, I guess, from probably the 1980s. Apparently there were a few different variations of this with different pumpkin faces, and then I guess there's one that has a cat that pops out of it instead of a ghost. gets me every time. I'm not sure exactly what you call this. I would call it a Russian doll. It looks like a... I have no idea how old it is. Probably pretty old. '70s or '80s maybe. It's a wooden... there's other names for this too. I just... Russian doll is the only thing that comes to mind right now. But I think normally these come in sets. Like this would have been part of a set of 4 or 5 of these, maybe in different sizes. But it's pretty neat anyway. And the artwork on it is kind of weird. The leaves are raised there. It's definitely hand painted. Pretty weird. Looks like the finish is cracking there. Don't know. I know absolutely nothing about these. So I just know it's it seems like a pretty unique thing for Halloween. No idea how common they are or anything. It was just weird. And yeah, I couldn't not buy it. Here are some Empire Halloween Magic Lantern Luminaries. Found these today at a Goodwill store in another town about an hour away. These are probably from the 80s, I would say. Little flame resistant bags. 6 special treated lanterns. So you line your walkway with them and put candles in them. Put some sand in the bottom, put a candle in there. And Empire, if it's the same Empire company, they've made a lot of the iconic blow mold Halloween decorations, like the light up blow molds and the Halloween candy pails. Example being this one. This is an Empire bucket. So, pretty good find. Here are some... I'm not familiar with the Sun Hill stuff. From Canada, apparently. 18 hanging pumpkins, so these would be the kind of thing that you would fill up with like newspaper or whatever, and then use a twist tie and hang them up outside. And they've got 3 different faces. 18 with 3 different faces. I'll definitely use these. I don't know if I'll have time to get to it this year, but I would definitely like to use these. Pretty neat find. Here's a Halloween candy pail I found at Goodwill earlier this week, I think. It's it's a Bayshore bucket. Probably from the 70s. Handle looks a little rough, but it's still hanging on. It's got metal rivets on both sides. It's kind of a smaller candy pail. Like here's the Bayshore next to kind of a standard Empire bucket. And this one is from, I think I already showed this one in another video, but this was an Empire, but it's stamped 1980 Carolina Enterprises. Well, this was a good find. I think I might have a couple other Bayshore buckets, but this is the only one that I have that's actually stamped with the Bayshore name on it. Okay, we've got it's a melted plastic lantern. I don't know what the company is. Looks like a Trendmasters. That's definitely a Trendmasters face design. The bulb was burned out in it, so I put an orange coated opaque bulb in it. So works now, glows pretty good. Here's another Trendmasters. This is pretty iconic. I think this is probably the most common Trendmasters pumpkin that you're gonna find. I think just about everybody's probably seen one of these. This one needs to be repaired though. The bottom fell out of it. So I've got the bottom and the cord somewhere else right now that needs to be repaired. But other than that, the shell's in pretty decent shape. I really like these Trendmasters pumpkins. They did a pretty good job on the facial designs, and the colors and the finishes on these are pretty nice. Also, I don't think you could find anything this good nowadays. I've got a bunch of these too. Different faces and sizes and everything. This one, I think the Trendmasters one is probably from the early 90s, 93 to 95, somewhere in there. This is a Paper Magic Group pumpkin. Same company that made those little hanging ghoul decorations that I showed at the start of the video. They also had some pretty good faces and colors and finishes on these. Again, you don't really see foam mold pumpkins this good nowadays. Paper Magic Group and Trendmasters, I think, were about as good as it got for the foam mold pumpkins. Yeah, 1998. Paper Magic Group. This one works. Pretty bright though. I might put one of those opaque orange lights in this one. I think it would look a lot better. That natural, or the standard transparent bulb in there is a little harsh. Here we've got another Paper Magic Group. This is a little mini pumpkin stack. Same color as the other one I just showed, but it's got different faces on it. $19.99 Paper Magic Group. This one also works. Love to find these. These are still pretty common. The Trendmasters and the Paper Magic group. Pumpkins. I see a lot of them at thrift stores. And I've passed a lot of them up, but I've bought a lot of them too. And I guess this is the last thing I have to show right now. This is another thing I found today at that out of town Goodwill store. This is a Beistel Company full-size 55-inch jointed and assembled skeleton. Still in the bag. Beistel creation, 1980. Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, 55-inch. Pretty incredible to find one of these still in the bag. I was shocked when I saw it on the shelf too, because the store was really busy. There was a lot of people in there. So when I saw this sitting on the shelf, I just kind of looked around and was like, does nobody else see this here? So yeah, pretty exciting. I have one of these hanging on my front door, the inside of my front door right now. I'm gonna leave this one in the bag though, although looks like it's already been taken out. So I guess I could do that. I could take it out and hang it up and then just put it back in there and replace the tape on the bottom, but I'm pretty much done with the interior decorating at the moment. So I think this guy's just gonna stay in the bag just how he is right now. But really cool. The other one that I have is a newer one, and it's like the night glow vision, so it's kind of like, doesn't really glow in the dark, but it's definitely has some fluorescent properties to it. I don't know if this one's the same way or not. Really neat though. Excellent find for $1.88 or whatever it was. Hard to find these still in the original packages. Definitely the best thing that I found lately. But anyway, that's it for now. Thrift stores are pretty much, I think, just about done with Halloween stuff, so this might be the last video as far as that goes. Maybe I'll have enough to throw together another one. We'll see. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Till next time, thank you for watching.